Welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast, your safe space to finally focus on YOU. I'm Chari Twitty-Hawkins, your self-care coach for moms, praying wife, and mom of four. And I know that being a Christ-centered mom is such a beautiful calling, but it can be so draining. That's why it's important to make sure you are filling your own cup. On this podcast, we'll discuss practical, holistic self-care strategies to help nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Because a mama who fills her own cup pours that back into her family with true peace and joy. Tune in for honest conversations about motherhood and self-care because you matter too. Blessings, mamas, and welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I'm Chari Twitty-Hawkins, your host and self-care coach for moms. And today I'm going to share with you some lessons that I learned from my birthday weekend. I don't know about you, but when I think about my birthday, I'm thinking about the whole week, like what I'm going to do the whole week, even if it's just little small things, what I'm going to do to be intentional about showing myself love. Now, for those who don't know, I do have twins and they were born 5 days before my birthday. So we both basically this week, the way it turned out, our birthday week was on the same week. So they're like, Mommy, can I have this? Can I have this? And it's so funny because one day my husband was like, oh Lord, I hope they don't start celebrating a birthday week like you do. And I said, oh Lord, I started laughing. I said, oops, sorry. We already have this thing where it's like, if we go to the store or something and they want something and it's within reason, then I will go ahead and get it. They know this. They're already looking forward to it. So I've already passed down that tradition. So I'm like, oops, sorry. So, so I was already trying to think in my head how I'm going to balance these things, grabbing stuff for myself a little extra because I am the budget conscious person in our marriage, as well as grabbing something for my twins as well. Well, just so happened this week, as I'm thinking of, all of these things, trying to figure out, budgeting and all of that, my youngest son gets in trouble at school and I start to feel the mom guilt about that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, all these things, because it was pretty serious. And I had to say to myself and remind myself, like I tell you guys, to separate his actions from my worth and my job and my performance as a mother. So I had to constantly tell myself that over and over. And I'm doing it still. I'm still coming off of that because my birthday was this weekend. So I kind of had that going on. And as well as other things, y'all know, if y'all haven't heard me say, I'm going through perimenopause, and that deals with fluctuation of hormones, and you can deal with anxiety and all these different things. So I'm battling that. So when that started to come closer to my birthday, my husband was like, where do you want to go out to eat? We had already did the stuff for the twins. It was super fun. Oh my gosh. We went to kind of like this hibachi type style place. It was, the food was so good, y'all. So good. So good. They had like Korean barbecue and seafood. Had crab legs. I don't know about y'all, but I love snow crab. It was so good. But he kept asking me, and normally he doesn't have to keep asking me. Normally I have places in mind, but he was like, okay, well, let me know when you decide where you want to go. And so I really sat down with my feelings one day and I was just like, man. And so I communicated with him. I said, to be honest, I couldn't think of anywhere that I really wanted to go. And I kind of wasn't in a mood for celebrating. But then I gave him an idea of this sushi spot that I wanted to go to. And I was like, well, I want to take the kids. And he was like, do you want to take the kids? Because this is your birthday. And I was like, well, I want them to go because I like them to experience different places, different restaurants. So we went, had a good time, even though they didn't have some things on the menu that they used to have that we would go there specifically for, but it worked out. So that was really, really nice. And for those who don't know, another thing that I do every year, I post it on TikTok. My hair is going to be purple. Okay. So if you're watching, of course, on YouTube, you can see I have my purple twist in. So I put those in and I'm loving it. I'm going to have to take them out because I have a performance for our church at our church, for a Black History program. And this is not going to be, it's not going to be efficient. It's not going to be realistic, but I'm loving it. Loving my purple twist. Y'all know, like I said, if you follow me on TikTok or any social media, I'm either going to put some temporary purple hair dye in my hair or do some twists. And that just really, really helped improve my mood. And when I think about my birthday, like I said, I'm battling these negative thoughts. I'm thinking about how am I going to celebrate myself? How am I going to show love to myself? And at church, our preacher has been doing a series on love. And he mentioned, I think I might have mentioned this in the last podcast, how he talked about we don't, we have to learn how to receive love. We have to learn how to receive love so that we can give love fully and give love like we should. But a lot of times we are blocking that. We are thinking we don't deserve love. And so I was fighting, kind of fighting those thoughts in myself. And I said, wait a minute, what was Brother Archie talking about? Oh, we need to learn how to receive love. And that means love from yourself. And this past Sunday, our preacher preached on 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. And for those who don't know it, this is New King James Version. It says, love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And we often, when we talk about that, when people preach about that, it is often about, that sacrificial love that you give to other people, but you also have to think about that in terms of yourself. There are several scriptures that say, love your neighbor as yourself. But if you are not loving yourself, then how do you know how to love your neighbors, your children, your husband, your parents, your BFFs, your best friends, whoever? How do you know how to do that if you don't know how to do it yourself? So these are just some things that I think about when it comes to my birthday. I think about celebrating myself. And how am I doing this? Not just during my birthday week. I just had to laugh. Every time I think about what my husband said, I hope they don't start doing it. I'm like, oh, too late. But how am I not going to just show myself love and celebrate myself on my birthday, or if you're like me, birthday week, but every day, because my birthday week is over. And I am struggling with those thoughts of mom guilt. But again, reminding myself over and over, like I told you guys, speaking positive words. I'm a great mama. I'm an amazing mom. This is part of the journey. You went through this with your twins, things like that. Just showing myself and reading and looking up. I looked up on TikTok, mom guilt and raising kids with ADHD, different things like that. So how am I, like the scripture says, and I encourage you to ask yourself the same on your birthday and every day, or I would say maybe every week, doing a check-in and asking yourself, how am I celebrating myself? How am I showing myself love? Asking yourself, going along with the scripture that I read, are you being kind to yourself? Are you envying other moms? Are you being rude to yourself? Just different things like that. Are you thinking evil thoughts about yourself? Just really asking yourself that and using the scripture as a guide. And like I said, yes, this may be talking about sacrificial love and how you love others. But if you are to love others like you love yourself, then you need to first love yourself, or at the same time, because of course you're not going to be like, I'm going to stop loving people and showing them love and being kind so I can focus on myself first. No, of course. Especially we know with motherhood, it's a parallel, working on loving yourself as well as loving your children, loving yourself more, better, so that you can love your family, your community, the world from a better place, from a place of abundance rather than exhaustion. Like I'm worn out, like, oh my goodness. And another thing that I thought about and I reminded myself of when I was praying, when I was struggling with those negative thoughts, I said, God, please just keep me in a place. Keep me in a place of gratitude. So when my kids start to, like they did when we went out to eat, when they start to be themselves, because they're kids the same way we're ourselves, we're adults, and God's looking at us like, child, act right. The same way I asked God to remind me to be grateful. And that helped a lot. It helps so much. because when I start to feel guilt, I'm like, you know, he's still prospering. We still have a family. We love each other. We have each other's back no matter what. No matter what. And another thing I encourage you to do, and this, I talk about this during Valentine's Day, which is right before my birthday, duh. Get things for yourself. Buy your own gifts too. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean other people don't buy yourself. Buy yourself. It doesn't mean that other people won't buy you gifts, because my husband did. My kids made me cards. It's so cute. So cute. My youngest actually made me a digital card. It was long, y'all. It was long, but it was so cute. Buy yourself your birthday gifts. If you know that maybe other people are not going to get you what you want necessarily, unless you tell them. And I did not tell anybody specifically, I want this, because like I told you, my head was in a different place. So I purchased things for myself. I got myself some muumuus, or what, excuse me, actually some caftans. For those who are on TikTok, y'all know what I'm talking about. I am now a caftan mama. I am. Those things are so freaking comfortable. And for those who are like, what is a caftan? Just think about muumuus. Go on TikTok and look up butterfly muumuus, and you will say, oh, okay. Because I learned that muumuus are actually Hawaiian based, like that's where they come from. But caftans are what we've been wearing and trending and viral and everything on TikTok. So I ordered myself some of those. I was kind of skeptical at first. I was like, I don't know, because I don't like big clothing on me. I just don't, baby, when I put that thing on. And if y'all go to my TikTok, and you can find me at CIC Inspire Me, it'll be down in the description as well. I have it on for my birthday. I'm walking around in that thing because I love butterflies. It is so comfortable. Oh my goodness. But anyway, the point is, and like I said, this is for your birthday. This is for any day. Buy yourself something. Give yourself a gift, because you deserve it, just because you are. Not because you've done all this work and all these things. Now, you can reward yourself like that, but you deserve gifts, period. Period. So give yourself gifts. Buy yourself gifts if necessary. Now, if you know, hey, it's my birthday, I'm letting them know what I want. They normally get it. Then you don't have to worry about that. However, if you see something, you're like, oh, I didn't mention that, but I sure want it. Grab it. It's your birthday. You want to look back. And that's another thing. I was thinking about, like, hey, I don't want to look back at my birthday and be thinking about how sad I was, how my husband had to drag me out the house, all these things. I didn't want to feel like or think about my birthday and think those things. I didn't want those to be my memories. So I said, I'm going to buy myself stuff. I'm going to do this hair. I am going to pray. I'm going to practice gratitude. I am going to focus on scripture. God put it right in front of me at church, about loving others, as well as thinking about it with loving myself. So I encourage you to do the same. And again, this is for your birthday. This is for any day. Any day. So make sure, if you have not saved this episode, take notes. Yes, I do. No, I'm lying. Get your pen. Y'all know who I am. Those who are watching on YouTube, see my purple pen. Take notes. Take notes. Or type it up in your phone. Birthday. And then come back and say, hey, these are the things I'm going to do for my birthday. Or these are the things I'm going to do. And these are the things I'm going to do every week, every couple of weeks. These are the things I'm going to do to make sure I'm celebrating and loving on me and showing gratitude, so I can stay in a positive place when things get hard, when mom guilt starts to sink in, those things. So hopefully this blessed you. If it did, please make sure you share this with the mama you love. Like I said, save it, listen to it again, take notes, and take action. Let me know on TikTok or Instagram at CIC Inspire Me what you're going to start doing. And also leave a review if this blessed you. Until next time, take care. God bless. Thanks so much for joining me for the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I hope you feel inspired to make yourself a priority too. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Share this podcast with another mama you love and leave a review. Also, feel free to let me know what you would like to hear about in future episodes by visiting me on Instagram at CIC Inspire Me. Until next time, take some time to take care of YOU because you matter too.